Hey, my lovely Willow Vibes Tribe members. I'm Jessica from Willow Vibes Intuitive Vibes, and I just woke up. It's really early, but I had a dream, and I wanted to share it. I don't know if I'm just going to keep it to myself yet and just kind of record it, or if I'm actually going to share it, but I just don't want to forget it. I've already recited it to myself, but I just have this urge to record. So, like the videos, comment, share, subscribe if you want to. I'm not doing a reading with this one because I want to go back to bed. I had the other light on, but it was way too bright. Couldn't see anything, so we're dimming it down a bit because I'm just like, I'm tired. But anyways, so hopefully the audio is not too low because it's really early in the morning and I don't want to wake anyone up. So anyways, this dream was kind of weird. It had different parts, and there was this, it started off in a car. And usually in a vehicle, you got to control the vehicle because you got to drive it and it takes you different places and whatever. Well, I wasn't driving. I was in the back seat, and the front seat was filled with people. Like, I think there was 4 people in the front seat, and I was looking for this guy, and I had seen him before I got in the car. Like, I saw him before that. And I was thinking I was going to see him again because these people were telling me that that's where they were taking me, because I'm like, I want to see this person. And they're like, yep, that's where we're going. Oh no, they said he's here right now is what it was at first. And I was like, I'm like, okay, I believed him because I had just seen him. So I was like, oh yeah, he must be in here, like, driving me around basically. As like driving around Miss Daisy, but in a more screwed up way, I guess. So, anyways, as we keep driving, I was like, he's not here. There's no way he's here. And they're like, yes, he is. He's here. He's here with us. I'm like, no, he isn't. I was like, I just don't believe it, is what I kept saying in the dream. And so they had him do something to make me believe. So it was like I saw him before I got in the vehicle with these people, and they're telling me he's there the whole time, but he wasn't. And then they had him do something, and because he did whatever he did, I was like, oh, okay, he is here. So then it kind of kept me quiet for most of the ride or whatever, and then I started questioning shit again. I'm like, no, but he wouldn't do that. Like, even though he did, like, they had him do something, I'm like, he wouldn't do that. Like, it felt off. It felt weird. And because I kept questioning them, they were getting kind of frustrated with me. And they're like, we just gotta go to this one place, and he'll be there. Don't worry. We gotta go here and he'll be there. And I'm like, I don't think he will be. And they're like, yes, he will. And I'm like, okay. So we get to this place, and it's a house. And once we're in the house, these people sit down, and there was one main guy. There was a guy and somebody else there. Can't remember who it was. Like, it was a guy or a girl, the other person, but they were just sitting there. And I'm like, where is he? You said he would be here. Where is he? Oh, he'll be here, don't worry. And I'm like, there's nobody else here. And they're like, we're just waiting. I gotta meet someone. I gotta get something, and then you'll see him. And I'm like, well, who do you gotta meet? What do you need to get? And it was a drug house, and so they needed to get whatever they were there for. And I was like, I'm not waiting around for you to get this shit. Like, fuck you. I'm not waiting around for you to understand, for you to, you know, to get whatever you're waiting for, because these people were waiting for something that they shouldn't be waiting for, basically, if you want to look at it from like a dream perspective and like symbolism and stuff. And I'm like, I'm not waiting around for you to get this. Like, fuck you. So I stood up and I was getting ready to leave, and the guy stood up and was like, no, I need this. And I was like, I don't give a shit what you need. And I walked out. And then all of a sudden, I was in this other house, and there was this mother there, And I didn't see her prior in the dream, but at that point when I saw her, I knew I had interacted with her before, and she was really nice to me the first time, like, and I remembered that because it's weird. It showed it to me at that point, but I knew it was previously, like before I got in the car and stuff. Well, this mother person, I don't know whose mother it was. The mother was like, she was nice to me, and she wasn't. She was kind of weird, like kind of off a rocker, basically. She was alcoholic, but regardless, she was nice. Like there wasn't any problems. And then all of a sudden, I went. I went to go to the bathroom. So I went in the small bathroom, and bathrooms are like your private space. You know, you do private business there. And I went to go pee, which you would think would be like, it's a private thing. You do it by yourself. You know what I mean? And she came in after me, like busted down the doors. And I hadn't even said anything to her, but she busted into the bathroom. Like she came into my private space, basically. And I was like sitting there getting ready to go to the bathroom. I didn't even go in the dream. I might have started going. Yeah, I think I started to. So I could have started to say something or whatever. Like that could be what that represents. Like because you're relieving yourself by going to the bathroom in a dream, but it could be like relieving yourself of information. You know, whatever it is in waking life. And she's like, I gotta pee. And she was so drunk. These people were basically they were helping her, but they were also keeping her away from me. So it's like they were helping me like keep the distance, basically, like keeping her back, but they were on her side. They were helping her. And like they were like, go, go, like get out of here, basically. So I'm like trying to get up, and as I'm getting up, she's like pissing everywhere, like just peeing herself, pissing everywhere. She got her foot stuck in the toilet, broke the toilet. So she just fucked everything up, basically. Just ruined everything. And these people, while they were helping her, she was ruining everything, which is probably why they were keeping her away from me. I don't know, but as as I'm getting ready to like squeeze through the crack in the wall, because where she had busted in, because the wall was like kind of caving in, as I'm trying to get out of there, she like kind of grabbed my shirt, and she just like made me look at her. I'm gonna sneeze. She made me look at her in the eyes, and what the second I looked at her, she didn't look like the same mother. Excuse me. She didn't look like the same person. Basically, she morphed into this devil person, and I mean, she looked like a demon, and she looked me in the eyes, and she's like, I fucking hate you. So she was pretending to like me the whole time, and she let me know the second I was getting ready to get the fuck out of there that she didn't like me. And I looked at her and I said, good, I don't care. And then I left. And I ended up in another vehicle, but this time I was in the front seat, but I wasn't driving. And the person that was there is someone I've known since I was younger. It's not anyone I've ever mentioned on here, because this person was a little older than me anyways. So it's not like I went to school with him or anything. I'm not going to name names because I don't know what he would represent, to be honest. But anyways, he was driving, and um, we kept passing these logging trucks, like on the road that we were on. There's a bunch of logging trucks, like there was two that passed us. It wasn't like a close call or anything. I just noticed as a passenger as they were driving by. So something to do with logging, a logging company, I don't know. But regardless, those two trucks drove by, and then he was struggling driving. Like he needed to do something, and he needed help. And I was like, so yeah, the guy needed help. Someone from my past needed help. So I was like, well, do you want me to take the wheel for you so you can do that? And he's like, oh, that would be great. So I go to grab the wheel, and I'm like kind of side seat driving, basically. Oh, because he needed to look at a video. there was a video I needed him to see. So I was like, here, look at this. And he's like, I can't do it while I'm driving. And I was like, well, I'll take the wheel so that you can watch the video, basically. I'll take over so you can watch this, is what it kind of felt like. And so I grabbed the wheel, and he was getting ready to watch the video. And another logging truck was coming, but this time, like the ass end of it, it's almost like the truck was jackknifed, but it was still driving. Like the rear axle was completely on my side of the road. And as he's like looking at the tablet thing, watching me, oh, well, I didn't think he was watching me. Anyways, watching the video, because in the dream it wasn't me, I didn't see it, he needed to see something. So maybe he, I don't know, it's weird when shit comes out like that, because I didn't, whatever. So maybe he was watching me, but whatever he needed to see, I showed him. And so I could be representing somebody else in the dream, maybe, but regardless, he, as he's like sitting there watching it and I had the wheel, he got scared and was like, I need to be back in control. I can't let you take the wheel, because he saw the truck and he's like, oh, she's not going to be able to do this. Oh, shit. Like, he was freaking out. Like, he needed to take the wheel and maneuver around this truck for me. And I was like, it's okay. Like, it's almost like he was trying to fight me for the wheel. But right as he's reaching for it, he's not obviously not watching a video he's supposed to be watching, because he's reaching for the wheel. And I'm like, I got it. And everything went into slow motion and it slowed right down. And I like turned around, went like kind of, it was like a ditch area, but it didn't go inwards. It was like tar and then dirt. And then so I went around the problem. I went right around the problem. It's just as smooth as butter, basically. And I keep going. And he's like, I didn't think you would be able to do that. He goes, I don't even know how the fuck you did that. How did you do that? And I was like, I don't know. I thought it, and I just went around, and that's what happened. So it's like your intuition when you know, whether it's telepathic communication, or just you get these gut feelings, spirit tells you things. It's like, I don't know how I did it. I just felt like I needed to do this, and then that's what I did, and we averted the problem, kind of thing. Like, it was something like that, but he was in shock. He goes, there's no way that you would be able to do that. There's like, how did you do that? How did you figure out how to do that? Because he's like, you can't slow the car down. You can't speed it up. All you had was one hand steering the steering wheel. Like, so basically, if he was going like 100 miles an hour, I would have to turn the wheel at 100, or, you know what I mean? But no matter what speed the guy had, because he was in control of how fast or slow the car went, and I was just like, which direction we were going in. It's like I was leading the way and he was controlling the speed, but I made the car slow down so that we could go around the problem. And he was like in shock that I did that. Like, I can't believe you avoided that. Holy shit, like, that would have killed us. And you went right around it like nothing, like nothing. And I'm like, oh, I don't know. I'm like, did you watch the video? It was almost like, oh, well, no skin off my ass. Like, this happens all the time. Did you watch it? So I was very adamant on him seeing something, apparently. And then after that, I ended up, this part was a little weird. I don't really remember how the hell I ended up there, what the fuck it was about or anything. But I ended up, like, at the end of a dock. But these were big docks, like at a pier in the ocean. Although when I was in the water, it didn't seem like the ocean water. It seemed like it was a deep lake or something. So I'm at the end of a dock, and the water was kind of murky in there, actually. And there was two docks. Like, one was like this, and they were kind of like facing each other, and I was in the middle. So I guess if it was a bridge, it was missing the middle, but it looked like two docks, and docks end, you know? Like, they don't keep going. You can go out into the water and just can't stand there, and that's about it. Well, or get on a boat. Well, there was no ship there. There was no boats or anything. There was just me in the water, and I was close to one, and then I started swimming to the other. And as I'm swimming to the other one, my mom showed up on the other dock, and she's like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "Oh, I don't know. I don't even know how to get out. I don't even know why I'm in here. I don't know how to get out of here." I was like, "What the? I don't know why I'm in this murky fucking water between two docks. There's nothing, like, there's no reason for me to be here." But it had something to do with work. So, I mean, I read tarot. I'm a psychic medium and stuff. That's what I do for work. So it's like diving into the dark waters of other people sometimes with different energies. It's like kind of ending up in a place that you don't want to be sometimes, like knowing things that you don't always want to know, but you know it just because it comes with the territory. Because I was swimming towards a different dock, and and she's like, "No, get back over here." So I start swimming back towards her, and I'm like, "What happened to the office?" I'm like, I was like, "This isn't how I remembered it. Like, it's all flooded and full of shit, like, this is bad." And she's like, "This is just the way it is now, honey." And I'm like, "This is the way it is now?" I was like, "Well, I don't want to work here if this is the way it is. I don't want to work here if this is the way it is now." And I never took her hand. Like, she never helped me out of the water or anything like that. But it felt like I was in somebody else's water. Like, that was in my lake or something. Those weren't my docks. I was at different people's docks where their ships would be coming into port or something. And I was just swimming in the water. And that's all I remember, that part. Because, like I said, she didn't help me out of the water. She didn't really say anything besides, "This is how it is now." And it's almost like, this is just a pile of shit. There's nothing here. So I think it's time for you to go. Because that was my old job, though. I used to work with my mother in real life, and she was my boss at the time, but that was years ago. And it's kind of how it felt in the dream. Like, she was like kind of directing me, like letting me know. She was directing me and letting me know, but not getting involved because she never, like, gave me, like, helped me out of the water. You know what I mean? So I don't know, like, what that represents. Like, someone being in the know. Not saying it's her, but my mom is someone who's helpful in my life, in my real life. So it would make sense that she would be the helpful one in my dream. So it's not like an exact representation of the real people in my life ultimately, but it's like helping without helping. Because she was helping me, but not in the open. Do you know what I mean? So it was like hidden help or something. That's what it felt like. Like, this just wasn't out in the open, whatever it was. Because, like I said, she didn't give me the helping hand. Like, she was like, "Hey, let me pull you out of the water." She was just like, "I don't know why you're down there. You shouldn't be doing this. Like, this isn't where you belong," basically. That's what it was. Like, she was just giving me a heads up, and I'm going, "Yeah, no shit. How the fuck do I get out?" But I had to get out by myself, apparently. But there was nothing bad swimming in the water. There was nothing scary there. I was just stuck between two docks. And I'm just like, because, in the ocean with those long fucking pier things, I don't know, the long poles, I was just like, do I have to wait for, like, the tide to go out or something? Like, it was just, the docks they were up so much higher than where I was, that I was like, I don't even know how to get out of here. I guess I'm just going to have to tread water. But I didn't. I ended up getting out. I don't know how the hell I got out of there, but I did. I think I just walked out, actually. Yeah, I think that's what I did. It's like you think you can't walk. Everything I did was miraculous in the dream. Like every bad situation that I found myself in, whether people dragged me into it in the dream, like unknowingly, or if I just kind of fell into it, because I kind of fell into the water. That wasn't intentional either. It was just like, oh shit, whoops. Um, it's like falling into information or somebody's energy that you don't want to be in or something. It's like being caught in between two people or two problems is what it felt like, because those are two separate people's docks and they weren't mine. And the water was kind of in there. You know, whenever there's murky water in a dream, it's not good. Those are like those yucky emotions. So it's like falling into the pile of shit and coming out smelling like fucking roses, because I I guess I was like Jesus in the dream. I walked on friggin' water because I was treading water like, I don't know how to get out of here. Like, no one was like literally helping me out. And then all of a sudden I just walked out as if like by magic. So that was the second time in this weird dream that I got out of a sticky situation. I just got out of it, just like whoop, just like magic. Do you believe in magic? So yeah, that was my dream. There was some other parts that I don't fully remember, but those are the ones that stood out to me the most. Being in the vehicle and thinking that someone was there when they weren't. That was like, because the people were telling me that. Like leading me in the wrong direction, basically. That part of the dream was very significant. And the mom who got really pissed at me, and the way she looked at me, even though she was wreaking havoc on everybody else's lives, being a pain in the ass, she was just not a nice person. And these people knew it. Like, I don't know if they were her kids. I don't know who the fuck these people were. I think some of them were, but it's like they were on her side helping her, but they were also keeping her away from me. Like, she was a vicious woman. She was just evil. But she was so two-faced. Like, she was so sweet and nice when I first met her. Like, when we were interacting in the first part of the dream or whatever. And, like, she was my best fucking friend kind of thing. And then, I don't know, like, I will not, like, her eyes scared the fucking shit out of me in that dream. Like, but I didn't act scared. I was like, I don't fucking care. It was like looking the devil in the eyes and telling him to fuck off, basically. And that's what I did in the dream. But yeah, that was very significant. So, I don't know, does it mean anything to you guys? I feel like I know exactly what it means to me, but I had to record it. So this is just a dream share, because I'm going back to bed, because I think it's like 1 o'clock in the morning. I gotta get up. So, yeah. The end. There's the world. I love you guys, and I'll be doing readings and talking to you soon. So if you don't like dream shares, I don't know why you're watching till this point, but I don't know. They have, like, they all have meanings. The ones that I feel very strongly about, at the very least. And I like hearing about people's dreams anyways, even if they mean nothing to me personally. It's just they're interesting, because it's like your subconscious mind can be so screwed up sometimes. And it's not just processing information. Sometimes it is, but there's psychic dreams too, you know. Even if things have already happened, sometimes we have dreams where our brain does process the information, but spirit shows you what had already happened. Like, if you didn't get the clarity you needed on a past situation, sometimes the past can come back spiritually when the time is right for you to know and understand, you know? Like, you wouldn't have understood what this meant prior, but you understand now, and this is what was really going on. Like, you know, they can do that too. So it's not always just futuristic stuff, like what's coming in the future. Sometimes it's just confirmation for you. So keep that in mind too with dreams. But anyways, I love you guys. Sleep tight. Hopefully you guys are tucked into bed, sleeping quietly, and I'll be joining you in dreamland again.